fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got with the outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up to
Oh my God!
Oh.
Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get involved!
Second very close. These guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, here we go! Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
California to the scorching heat of the desert. The NASCAR iRacing Series heads down to Arizona for the 4th round of the season, the first of 2 visits to the desert state this year, with the series returning for the season finale all the way in November. Phoenix Raceway, or ISM as it still is in iRacing, is famed for its triangular shape with 3 distinctly different corners making up the 1 mile facility. It's short, it's unique, and it's wild. 156 laps ahead of us. Let's get ready for the green right here on the iRacing Esports Network and presented by SimSpeed TV. As always, my name's Ryan Jones. I'm joined by Sean Ambrose, and most importantly, behind the scenes in the director's chair is Jay Kennedy. Well, it's only a mile long. It's got 3 distinct corners. Turn 1 is tight and the most steeply banked on the circuit. Turn 2, the dogleg, which offers opportunities for cars to go as many wide as you could ever want. And then turn 3, Sean, which is a long and sweeping corner without much banking. There's not many spots to rest on this track.
There really isn't. Relatively flat. You know, turns 1 and 2 and that dog leg are only banked at about 10 and 11 degrees, and 3 and 4 are even flatter than that, somewhere between about 8 and 9 degrees. The short front straight and the asymmetrical layout really trademark this track. That dog leg, rather unique on the NASCAR circuit. You'll see drivers cut that off, maybe just the tip, as they roll through. We have a transition off and onto the track. Not too tricky in the Cup car, but, well, let's talk about that Cup car, Jonesy. There were some changes, and, well, I guarantee the car's going to be a little more loose now, and yeah, there's probably going to be a little more tire fall off as they've made an adjustment on the tire model, and it's probably going to be a little tricky to keep some balance in the car. You're going to probably need tires before you need fuel on this one. We think you can go somewhere about 80, 90 laps if we go green, but that's the problem. Practice has been a mess. Guys have really had trouble hanging onto the car here. And, well, we're out in the desert, so it'll probably prove to be a warm evening here in NIS. Right now, it's about 95 degrees on track. So, I'm sure that'll pick up as we creep into the afternoon here.
Yeah, the new for 2020 short track and road course package has been brought into the iRacing service, and that means that rear spoiler has been absolutely chopped down from 8 inches to 2.75, front splitter down to a 1/4 of an inch overhang, 2-inch wings. I still don't really know what that means, but 2-inch wings down to 10.5 inches. And the vertical fencing being removed from the radiator pan too, so a lot less downforce on these cars. Drivers going to have to drive them a little bit more on these short tracks, and in real life the move done to provide better racing on this track, because on the short tracks last year drivers were really struggling to pass because of the amount of downforce on these machines. So they've taken it all away, and now we're left with cars that are quite a bit of fun to drive actually.
And because I've been traveling a little bit this week, I've really not had a chance to see any races or to get any myself. Don't have any time in the car, just time in practice. Watching a few of these drivers try to hang on. Watching practice right now. Caden Honeycutt trying to get lap 2 in, has a little bit of trouble off the final turn and cracks it up. But the time is running out. Only 30 seconds left in lone qualifying. Vincent Salas has the pole right now, the Californian. Ryan Doucette just goes to P5 with a 26.472.
Yeah, pretty close qualifying.
Yeah.
About a 1/10 of a second separating the top 6. Less than that, even 800ths of a second separating them. Having a look for the Coke Series drivers. We normally have a few in here. I believe Michael Guest is running in the Coke Series. He is. Having a look. can't actually see anyone else at this
No,
point.
he is
No,
it.
I'm missing no one. That's it. Well, from the most we'd seen last week to the least this week, we got one. But at week 13, everyone's, I think, just having a break from iRacing, and then we'll be back in full swing for Season 2 next time out. But now let's take a look at the starting grid and how they're going to roll off of pit road here in Phoenix. Vicente Salas starts off the pole. Max Cookson lines up second. Austin Yarborough starts from third with Garrett Maines outside of row 2. Ryan Doucette and Carson Hosever start 5th and 6th. Blake Cisneros starts from 7th ahead of Jose Solis Jr., Cody McCauley and Blaze Crawford 9th and 10th.
And the Mid-South driver, Brandon Pipgrass, make an appearance here this evening. He'll start 11th. Brian Mercurio from New Jersey will start P12. In 13th, David Lamb, starting right next to Trayton Lapchevich. There, the Canadian starts P14. Michael Jeans with us again this evening. He'll start 15th. 16th for Sean Timmerman. Andy Trupiano, the Michigan driver, starts 17th. 18th goes to Boyd Hogan. 19th for Ryan Hill. And Caden Honeycutt will get P20.
Timu Toika starts 21st. Joshua Campbell outside of the 11th row of the grid. Connor Hale and Matt Adams behind them. Michael Guest is not 33rd. My screen went weird then for a second. Jake Maloney starts at 25th. Chris James and Justin Botello 26th, 27th. And Nicholas Sacco and Tanner Love. Top 30 rounded out by Alex Huffman.
31st going to be Seth Ryder in the number 35. 36 going to be for William Morris the third. Michael Guest is starting 33rd. Ryan Will Norton will start 34th. 35th for Kane Cook and Harrison Lyon 36th.
I don't know what happened there. My screen was showing him up there around the 20th spot. I looked at the grid number and it said 33. Race conditions for today. We're in the desert at Arizona. 35-degree track temp. Not as hot as you might expect in this desert state. Not too much wind to contend with either. And 12:47 in the afternoon. So track will get hotter as this race goes on. Only one to go on the roll-off of pit road despite being a 1-mile track. So there's not much time till we get the green here at ISM Raceway. This could be the final time we run this configuration. In NASCAR, this iteration of the track was dominated by Kevin Harvick as the all-time winner in the desert. This might be our final time running this layout in iRacing, who channel their Harvick and get it done as we get underway. Green flag in the air. Vicente Salas jumps out early, gets a good hole shot. And behind him, the number 10 of Austin Yarborough tried to get to the inside of Garrett Maines. Goes all the way up the track. He's spinning.
In
and
the wall,
there goes Yarborough.
And yeah, Yarborough too. Spin for Yarborough. That's going to trigger the caution. Maine saved it enough. Yarborough was the spin is what triggered the caution.
There was someone else in the background as well that I saw who was having some serious issues as well.
Yeah, Alex Huffman. It was poor Huffman had a problem back there also. Jeez.
Well, that was wild. What happened? Cold tires, hot track, Phoenix Raceway. Well, that's a very early caution. I'll get some replays up of what actually just unfolded there into turn 1. And Garrett Maines got hit, actually, by the number 16 of Carson Hosever into the first corner. That's why he went up the track. Looked like Yarborough may have gotten to the back of Cookson, which sent Yarborough around. In the background, it was the 26, Huffman, he said, that also got very sideways, but held on to it. So
well, he got hit.
Yeah, he got hit as well.
Yeah, he did. He got hit. Tanner Love actually was the car that broke loose, shot across the track and clips Huffman. 36, and William Morris got trapped up in that as well. Now we've got the replay rolling here. We'll go back up to the front where the trouble started with Maines. Maines saves it, but it's the trouble behind him that triggers the caution.
Alexis Miro is the guy I was watching that went sideways in turn 1 as well. A lot of people driving it in too hard, it seemed, for that first corner, which caused a lot of the issues as they were back to each other. And the earliest caution we've seen in the NASCAR iRacing series for 2020.
We had 9 cars peel off to the pits as a result of that. Botello, Cisneros, Adams, Ryder, Cook, Lyon, Norton, Guest, Maloney, Tanner Love still in for service for about a minute and a half now. Huffman as well, still in for service.
And a very short caution period here. The lights are out again on that pace car, so we'll try and get this one back underway once again. Top 2 remain unchanged since it's Salas and Max Cookson. Carson Hosever will start 3rd, Doucette outside row 4, row 2, from the 4th spot, I should say. As Salas Jr. are back there in 5th as well. Let's see if we can make it past turn 1 this time, and then into the dog leg. Here in ISM, space car's going to get out of the way. And we get ourselves back under the green flag. A good start for the inside row, getting the whole shot over that outside. Salas will jump out front. And Cookson's going to come under pressure here from Carson Hosever as Jose Solis Jr. slides up in front of them. Oh, another caution's out.
Yeah, and I think this one was a little bit further back in the field. In fact, I saw the 14 got wrapped up in that.
David Lamb was spreading out across pit road. Was drilled by the pace car. Thankfully, can't make contact with the pace car in iRacing just yet, anyway. And doesn't look like he's got too much damage to his number 14 machine.
Yeah, David might have had a little bit of help. A bit of the chrome horn applied to the rear bumper of that. I think Sean was, Timmerman maybe was in a little bit of a hurry.
That's a funky side by side. Presented by Jay in the truth. Oh, he got hit again, didn't he? David Lamb. What do you think of that side by side? I heard you're a bit jealous as a director yourself, Sean.
I think it looks great, Jonesy. I think it's wonderful. Tech is fun.
Until you can't get it working.
Lamb still out there, or I should say still in there, getting the car serviced. Another round of pit stops for several cars. Not for anybody up front, obviously. Not really many angry laps on these tires.
No. Well,
it's definitely
they've done 2 corners. They've done 2 corners on these tires. On lap 7 of the race, Tanner Love going to get the lucky dog and fly back around the field. Put himself back on the lead lap. Still got 34 people on the lead lap. Michael Guest is fallen a lap down in all of this, along with Alex Huffman. We didn't see what happened to Michael Guest, did we? But he's a lap down, back in the 35th spot, and on the back chase, crawled that car to a stop, and now he's reversing. Missed pit lane. Might get disqualified if he's not careful.
Yeah, you don't want to back it up too far.
You know, what's he doing, Sean? What?
Not really sure what's going on.
Oh, there we go.
Man.
Curious.
Indeed. Well, he gets it in. Guess has put the car up on the jacks as we get ready to go green here again.
Not just yet, Sean. Hold your horses, hold your horses. Still got another lap to go. It's been a long day for you, hasn't it, Sean?
No, not at all. I was focused on Guest there in the pits. He does come back out. I thought he was going to park it, to be honest with you. But Guest rolls the car back out of pit lane now.
Well, let's bookmark that and see what he gets up to by the end of this one. We'll finally get that one to go signal behind the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. And again, no real change in the top 4 or 5 spots. No opportunity for them to change. They barely even made it through the dogleg. The dogleg's where I thought the cautions were going to come from today, Sean, because you can fan out 4 or 5 wide.
Right.
So easily, then you've got to find yourself back into a more respectable pack of 2 wide, maybe 3 wide if you're brave through turn 3, but alas, haven't quite got there yet. Third time's the charm, third time lucky, hopefully. Here in Arizona, let's try again. Pace car's out of the way. Max Cookson will get a pretty poor restart. Checks up the outside line. The inside going to check up in the background as well. It's already 3 wide, a few guys back into turn 1. Can they make it through this time? It looks like they will, and we shoot through the dogleg then. And it's a good restart for the race leader, Vicente Salas. Through turn number 3, holding a nice lead. Carson O'Saver side by side. Garrett Maines and Jose Solis Jr. And Maines will take that spot away.
And what a run there by the 16. Here comes Carson Osavar. Right off the bumper of Vincent Salas.
Salas ran very wide through that first corner. He's a lane up the track again through turn 3, but it's going to give him a good exit here. Here comes Max Cookson, a bit of a wiggle out of turn 3, gets a good run, and he's allowed the inside line by Jose over there. He jumped on that brake early. Cookson takes away P2 then. Behind them is Ryan Doucette and Garrett Maines. Jose Solis Jr. coming under pressure from Austin Yarborough in the 10. He goes through on the inside. And that number 12 for Solis Jr. going backwards here off this restart.
Latovich on the run as well. He's up 6 spots here early into the top 10. Boyd Hagen in the wall.
As well. I just watched number 20, I think, got a bit of contact through the first corner too. That was Brendan Kidgrass. Got shot up the racetrack via Blaze Crawford and Boyd Hogan just in behind him. Hogan now on the attack, can't make it work on Crawford. Well, Crawford's on a little bit wide through that first corner, riding on board with Sean Timmerman, who's back here in 20th place. You can see the different lines being taken through the dogleg. There's no restrictions on where you can go through that part of the circuit.
Boy, Timmerman running a tight race here right now with Matt Adams there. Matt Adams, that gold car right in front of him. Oh, battling for the lead. Cookson Salas going at it. Cookson completing the pass.
So, new leader here in the desert, the number 2, Cookson takes it away. And Salas looked like he was struggling a little bit for some early grip out there, loses the lead as a result. Let's see if he can stay win with number 2 machine, or if Cookson's got the pace to jump away. He's had 3 different winners in 3 races to start the season off here in the Friday Night NIS Series. Let's see if he can make it 4 from 4. Currently the top 5 made up of drivers that haven't won this season. Well, I would say that I think the top... I don't think we've got a race winner in this field, now that I make that comment. So we're going to see 4 from 4 here today.
Yes, we will. Cookson, once he disposed of Salas off to a pretty clean run here. You gotta love the clean here at Phoenix, especially with less drag on these cars now. They freed him up a bit. So, good tires, clean air will certainly be king here at Phoenix today with 139 laps to go here at the strike.
Matt Adams just saw was down on the inside and trying to make it work with Chris James and back up front. With this top 5 battle, that's Garrett Maines taking it away from Yarborough. And Maines got a bit damage to his left rear and his rear end already, courtesy of that first lap contact from behind, side by side. Behind them, Doucette on the outside of Jose Solis Jr., almost up against that fence. Keeps it off the wall. and now going to lose out as well to Trayton Lapsevich, who goes through. So Doucette going backwards here as well. Can Honeycutt, Ryan Mercuro behind him, 3 wide behind them through the dog leg. That's Matt Adams making his way through.
Adams and Norton. Andy Trupiano in that mix. Fat Timu Toyko just behind that, leading that next little battle back there at 19.
There's got to be a joke there that I don't understand. Or a relationship.
Legions of fans, of Fat Timu fans out there.
Oh, 4 wide of the turn 3. Boy, Timo Toyko throwing it around the outside. And a bit sideways to the inside, the number 11, Kane Cook. Blake Cisneros had to move up the track a little bit. Now makes a move down in front of Cook. And that was a bit wild, 4 wide of the turn 3. Plenty wide enough to do it. But if the ideal racing one through there is only about 2 lanes wide. So they get through there without any drama for now. Then you saw Kane Cook get a bit sideways to the inside. Watch you catch that apron. If you get your car halfway across that yellow line, very easy to get the car to break loose.
Well, it's now even easier to get the car to break loose there, Jonesy. Well, we don't need any help here at Phoenix. We talked about the banking here and how there really just isn't a lot of it.
But Matt Adams, he's got some pretty good pace in that number 3 machine. And now at the inside of the number 18, Boyd Hogan, going to take that spot away behind them. Andy Trupiano going to get defensive and slide right up in front of Cody McCauley into turn 1. Will Norton going for the crossover move as 28 round wide and back round 3 wide again to the dog leg. All the way down to the bottom is Kane Cook. He's going to try to take that spot away now from Norton. And he's going to do it to the middle of the corner. Norton's going to try to follow him through the number 5, the number 30 of McCauley here. And it seems a few drivers bottled in with nowhere to go as that 28 machine. Blake Cisneros got some pace. Can't go anywhere with it. He's got on the track quite a number of times now.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but Michael Guest is in the middle of all of that. And he, of course, is racing. He's racing a couple of laps down, but he's in the middle of that hornet's nest there trying to, get himself back up to the front of this field. Not proving to be very, very easy tonight.
No, tough place to pass at the moment, it looks like out there. Michael Guest 1 lap down, just needs to solve caution and get himself a lucky dog as long as he's not involved in it. As in front of him, Norton makes a move back to the inside of Boyd Hogan. Just about found that gap in the first corner. You can see from that onboard the damage to the front right of the number 18 machine from when he hit that wall. You can see it's just bobbled up a little bit on that right front. And at a short track like this, damage isn't the be-all and end-all. You can do a bit of beating and banging, you can knock that fence down and still be in a reasonably competitive car because it's not a particularly high-speed track.
Well, he seems to be managing it at the moment. We'll see how long he can stay relevant. Now we're over 25 laps into this run for our leaders and the tires, and while the fall off hasn't seemed to be a big deal yet, but we talked about Hogan. I wonder if we started to maybe put the commentators' cheeks on him just a little bit as he continues to fall off now and has fallen into the clutches of Blake Cisneros, who's looking to get by.
A little bit further up the field, Harrison Lyons coming under pressure from Blaze Crawford here in the number 9 right in behind him, and Harrison Lyons just straddling that yellow line through turn 3 that separates the relatively mild banking from the apron of the circuit through the entry and corner. There's quite a number of lines you can take through that third corner, isn't there, Sean? You don't have to hug the yellow line all the way around. You can enter high, you can enter low. There's quite a few things you can do.
Yeah, there really are. There's a few ways to skin the cat, as they say, and you know, you can float it in there around the line. You can also ride the middle of the track and let that thing ride right up to the wall there. But you've got to be careful as these tires start to fall off. Flirting with that wall will bring you damage to the right side, and one or too many times of knocking that wall down could put you in a bad situation where the car won't handle right for you for the rest of this race. Long way to go here still tonight.
Long way to go. Lap 30 of 156, side by side. Austin Yarborough and Ryan set.
Had a close one.
Set going backwards and sideways out of 7.
Sure, that was I don't know if that was a complete code brown, but maybe a partial one.
It looked perfectly straight to me. What are you talking about?
I'm bored.
That's a sign of a good wheelman. If your car's sideways but it looks straight from the outside, if you had an onboard shot, you'd see that wheel being absolutely worked to the bone. See saw on the back left and right to keep it pointed in a straight line. On board with Jose Salts Jr. You can see some of that wheel work as he tries to find a way through on Garrett Maines.
Field really starting to string itself out. One starts to think how long it'll be before our leader, Max Cookson, starts to catch a little bit of traffic. In fact, Max coming up on a car now in the 36 of William Morris to put him a lap down. He'll be the first driver a lap down in this field.
That traffic, a massive talking point of the short circuits here in Phoenix. It's not quite as hard to navigate as somewhere like Bristol or Martinsville. When we get to those tracks, that's going to be wild stuff.
Yeah,
the leaders trying to get by those guys. But nonetheless, still takes some gear off the front of your car, costs you a bit of grip when you're tucked in behind someone. So these laps cars, you've got a nuisance from Cookson. He has got to watch out when he catches people at the side by side, like they are for 30th at the moment. He's going to have to be careful how he gets by them. Look at the battle for 40th place too. Blaze Crawford starting to get a bit of a logjam behind him.
Yeah, just as I said, they were starting to spread out again. This group gets back to fighting a little bit. They just got out of one. Here comes Tripiano to the inside.
Just lost the rear end a little bit coming out of turn 3. Loses the overlap. Kane Cook looking to find a way through now. He's got his nose to the outside. No overlap just yet. They'll shoot through the dog leg. Aggressive turn down onto that dog leg from Tripiano there.
Yeah.
Almost came up the side of Kane Cook. Now they're side by side through turn 3. And that number 11 holding tough around the outside. What a run he got there. Tripiano on the inside and nothing he could do to defend that. And now Will Norton's going to try to follow him through.
Those ponies are wild tonight.
Side by side, battle for 14th, left-hand side of the screen, a battle for second on the right-hand side. That second place battle between Vicente Salas and Carson Hosaver. Still single file at the moment, about 2 car lengths between them. Will Norton going to make that move stick on Tripiano. Michael Guest is about to bring his name in to the picture as well as he continues to charge through the field from a lap down.
Now, I wonder if we should maybe go back up front because really the battle for P4, I think, is about to jump off here. Maine, Solis, and Doucette. And in fact, Doucette getting by Solis. I think Solis let him go there.
We're now losing out to Ken Honeycutt as well. Oh, Honeycutt got a bit sideways out of that first corner.
Yeah. Oh, and we got a caution.
All the cautions out.
And I think it was Kane Cook. Car went around, coming into the dog leg. Spin, perfect spin, but in the racing line.
Yeah.
Brings no damage to the car.
Wow, that car went around extremely quick on him.
Yeah, it really did.
Normally, you'll see a slow slide when they start to get loose out of turn one, but once that thing went, it absolutely flew. Nothing you could do to save that. And because of the dogleg, if you spin down to the apron there in turn two, it's going to bring out the caution, because it is the racing line for quite a lot of people. But we're going to see pit stops then. Everyone's going to dive down and get some fresh boots, some more fuel, and it's be interesting to see how these drivers tackle this pit road, because part of it is on a curve, and if you were to take the fast lane, as you're supposed to, around the pit lane, you'd be at a disadvantage to someone who maybe has their pit stall in the middle of that curve and enters by driving through 3 or 4 pit boxes on the very inside of the curve, and exits by driving out through the very inside of the curve as well. A shorter way around, much quicker line.
Can I say this real quick?
What?
Pit party. Pit party. Everybody's in.
Timu Toika did not pit. Maybe missed his
Maybe-
pit bay.
Oh, and he missed the box. Trouble finding the pit stall there for Timu Toika. And the Finn's got damage on the front end of that car. He needs to get in the pits.
What's Doucette doing? Doucette's all the way down on the inside of the track. Maybe has an EOL, end of line penalty from that pit stop cycle, spinning pit lane potentially, letting the field roll on by. That's a big shame for him, because he was running all the way up there in the top 5 or so spots. Gonna have his work cut out for him now. The rest of the field, though, the top half a dozen or so, remain largely unchanged. It's still Max Cookson from Vicente Salas, Garrett Maines up into third, ahead of Carson Hosaver, Austin Yarborough, and Caden Honeycutt behind them.
I've got to get our director to go back to the inside of the cockpit there of Fat Timu Toika. A flannel fire suit, sir. That style right there. That is what's going on in oval racing right now. Flannel shirts and jeans. I never really imagined Finn's in flannel and jeans, but I think he's rocking that look. I'm gonna roll with it.
He is a lumberjack.
That would be
Finland.
correct. Yes.
Maybe.
Possibly, quite possibly. I believe we have some of his fellow countrymen in the chat this evening. I don't understand a damn thing they're saying, Ryan.
I can never understand anything anyone ever says. And, yeah, I got no clue.
Well, we definitely have rattled off a lot of laps here. This one's moving along pretty swiftly tonight. You know, the front of the field's been really, really strong. Harrison Lyon, a driver we've not talked about a lot. We probably need to start talking to him. He's in the top 10, up 26 spots, Jonesy.
Let's see if we can get some more spots as we get ourselves back underway. Good start from Max Cookson. Garrett Maines, a good restart from third. Going to get to the inside of Vicente Salas. Yara side by side with Carson Hosaver as well. 2 by 2 coming out of turn number 1. They shoot through the dog leg this time, all the way down to the inside and back up the racetrack for those guys on the inside line. A little bit wide for Vicente Salas through the corner. Going to relinquish that second spot to Garrett Maines. And here comes Austin Yarborough as well.
Too late, the caution's out. And they're stacking them up back there.
Ooh, front straight, a big incident. multiple cars around there. That's Tanner Love that came to a halt. Was he involved? Was he just trying to not get involved? Cody McCauley, I think, got a piece of that as well.
Chris
Gonna have
James.
to take a look at the replay. Nicholas Sarko involved too, and Chris James, as you say. So let's go back and see. Oh, I've just seen how it unfolded. That's strange. Coming out of turn 3, Cody McCauley side by side with Chris James. Came up the track into the front left of that 21. Into the fence they went, and that's the last I can see of it. We'll get it on here with Motor Simulation replay as we make our way out of turn 3. Look at the inside as McCauley comes up. Chris James maybe came down on him, and they ride along the fence for quite some time. And the 27, unlucky.
Connor Hale.
Hale.
Just ended his night. Connor Hale now has a wheel unmodified as he rolls into the pits live, where we finish the replay on board with Connor Hale. He's really going to get the worst of this, Jonesy, because it's not this shot, not that one, but that one right there that knocks the front end off the car.
And 31 as well. Who was that got spread eagle? Oh yeah, that was Nicholas Sarko that got a piece of it. And unfortunately, as he spun, and you could see from that onboard, there wasn't too much he could really do there. You could see a little bit of smoke, but in the end, there wasn't any way he could see where the crash was going to happen. Michael Guest gets the lucky dog. Surprised he didn't get it last caution, but he gets it now nonetheless. So he's going to be back on the lead lap, and from what we've seen already, looks like he's got the pace. So maybe keep an eye on him later on in this one to see if he comes back through the field.
Yeah, he's going to have some a good field of drivers to get through. But again, you said it a moment ago, it's been his pace. It's been very, very impressive. He's been buried back there in some very competitive traffic, but has still managed to overcome that. Now finally get the lap back. Let's see what he can do here. He's still got, we'll go back to green with probably 107 left to go. So plenty of time, plenty of opportunity out there. He's just got to navigate his way through the field patiently here. We've already seen some pretty loose race cars. That last caution, the one right before this one, came out at a really opportune time. They're right at the 40 mark on those tires. So we'll see what happens. Guest now coming around for his pit stop, as he's now gotten the lucky dog back on the lead lap, and will get his service.
So, the top few, we know how they line up. And Garrett Maines will restart from second. He's been doing pretty well on that number 1 machine ever since losing a few spots in that first start of the day when he got shot up the racetrack, courtesy of the car behind. Can he challenge Max Cookson then off this restart next time by? Because we haven't seen him up here in the top 2 spots yet. And he's back here now, made some good moves to get here. Austin Yarborough similarly up into 3rd place for the first time today. And see if Max Cookson's going to get challenged for the lead of the race.
Well, remember what Cookson's pace looked like once he got past Salas. I mean, the car looks strong. We know it runs well in the clean air. It will be up to Maines here to see what kind of jump he can get. I wish him luck here. We'll see. This should be a great restart.
Should be. Haven't seen particularly wild restarts as of yet. We're not at that stage of the race where it's really necessary. The closer we get to the finish, we're 106 laps away from it when we restart here. If we get a late caution, you know they're going to be 3-4 wide through that dogleg right throughout the field. And, of course, in real life, and I would say, I should point out I've got absolutely no inside knowledge, so don't get your hopes up. But I would say that we're probably going to see the reconfigured Phoenix Raceway in iRacing before the season finale of the year, where the Cup Series will visit it. And it'll be interesting to see how those restarts pan out with a new start-finish line. But for now, it's back here on the old main straight. Cookson gets us back underway then. Crosses that start-finish straight with a handy margin. Back to Garrett Maines, who's able to clear himself as well. Austin Yarborough all by himself is behind them, side by side. Vincent Salas fighting that rear end up against the wall out of turn 1. Harrison Lyon just behind 2, trying to follow Honeycutt through.
Yeah, that is not what we were calling for with the good restart there, and without tight racing, lying in the middle of that, they finally get line astern. And then you get it all the way back to P10 where that next battle is right now.
There's Kane Cook still running around in 11th place despite bringing out that caution and doing well on the outside, hanging tough. Brendan Pitgrass to his inside, almost a bit of contact through 3 as that number 6 drifted up the track a little bit. Number 20 here. Kane Cook still there, still not able to find a way through.
Oh, we got a car off pace down there to the bottom, getting out of the way. Was that Michael Jeans? Who was that down there? I missed that. That's up to me. I'll go find it. Looks like it was Connor Hale. That car we know in bad shape, so apparently just getting out of the way. That battle still rages on, though, between Laptovich and Kane Cook right now.
Yeah.
They're still side by side.
Pitgrass was in front of them the whole time. It was Laptovich that was to the inside when we first picked this up. He's still there now. And Cook squeezing him down off the exit. Takes that spot away. And he's going to have to settle in behind him now. With Robert Trippiano behind too, because he's really close to side by side. Further up in front of Salas, it's Honeycutt on the outside of Lion, who's going to pick up another spot with relative ease for the dogleg, and Salas trying to get involved too. Gets down onto the apron, and Matt Adams continues his charge through the field. He's up to 7th place now.
And watch out, because back there now in 18th is Michael Guest. He's starting to climb, literally picking up a spot a lap right now. So we knew he had the pace. He's proven it. Jake Maloney just gets spot from Cody McCauley. So a lot of moving and shaking going on. Almost contact there on screen.
Carson Hosever makes his way by Boyd Hogan, who comes down for a shallow exit, looking for a crossover move. Hasn't quite got the run he needs to make it happen. Michael Guest up into 17th place on the back of this battle as well. So, what can Guest do? He's got this lap back. He's already halfway through the field. Gets the run he needs on Boyd Hogan. Gets to his inside, and this should be a relatively easy move for the driver of the number 4 machine. And he clears him out of turn number 1.
Got under 100 laps to go. Certainly not go time yet, but you do start thinking about your strategy here and whether or not the remainder of this race will go green. We've not had a whole bunch of cautions. It could turn into a fuel mileage race right in front of us here when we're least expecting it. Yeah. Realistically, I think you could get this race done with one more stop. If we stayed under green flag condition, one stop would get you to the end.
Very might well do. It'll be interesting if that plays out if we stay green. Matt Adams up here on the back of Vicente Salas. Right behind this battle between Harrison Lyon and Austin Yarborough too. A couple of close battles. Hayden Honeycutt in front of the one between Salas and Adams. Up inside of the top 10. Max Cookson's jumped out to a lead of 0.6 of a second over Garrett Maines, which is a pretty handy margin as Lyon gets into the back of Yarborough, moves it out of the way through turn 1. Dives all the way down to the inside of the dogleg and takes that spot away. Yarborough then won't be too happy with that. They give a shot to the back of him then. Will he come back and let him know how he feels about that exchange? If he could get back there. It looks like Lyon's got the pace though to get himself reasonably far away. Yarborough drives it in deep, just misses the right rear of that number 26 machine.
Well, you know, that restart right there, it didn't really take him that long to string out. It was a little crazy there for about the first half a dozen laps, but they have really strung out now. Boy, what a race Harrison Lyon is having here. 33 spots now.
You see the replay on the side-by-side on the right-hand side of the screen. It's obscured a bit by the pit base, but that was the move.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
He didn't push him, he just nudged.
Robin is racing, especially here on the short tracks. You know it's going to happen.
This has been a very... Go ahead, finish your thought.
You can't get too annoyed by it on a short track. That's what I was going to say, because it happens all the way throughout the field, every lap.
I would call this a friendly at this point. This has been a very nice friendly.
So far, up 65 of 156. Still plenty of distance left to run in this event. Plenty of time for the action to ramp up. Matt Adams watching on board with him from the roof as he gets very close to the back of the number 15. He's been tucked in behind him for quite some time now. Lifts off early, trying to drive through the corner and get the exit, but I think he's just gone up front a little bit too early and just had to slow it up a bit on the exit and won't get that run that he needs. Salas doing a good job of just hitting his marks at the moment and not allowing an opportunity for the three to go by him. There's a move into the background into turn one. Does he make it stick? That's Kane Cook on Brendan Pipgrass. Side by side out of the dog leg. And Cook's going to take it away. That's the good thing about the dog leg. If you drive it all the way down to the inside, you can pretty much clear that outside line. The issue is, if you do it lap after lap, it is going to wear your tyres out quite quickly.
Just had a lead change up for P2. Lyon gets by Maines, jumbling up the order there just a little bit.
You say a lead change for P2?
No, did I? Is that what I said?
How does this?
Maybe. Okay, I did say a lead change for P2. Okay, all right. Let's mark that. That's gold right there.
Side by side as well, Brian Mercurio. Losing out to Kane Cook, who gets it done around the outside this time. That number 11 machine hooked up wherever he wants to put it. Unless it's putting the throttle down out of turn one, then it spins out on him as we get into the run. And thankfully, not that point in the run just yet, as Pipgrass will make sure it's 2 spots lost this lap for Mercurio.
And to be honest with you, Jonesy, I don't want to overstate this and make a big deal of it, but things have been pretty orderly, allowing the cars to really spread out. And I alluded to it earlier, you know, this could be the start of what becomes taking care of the car and fuel mileage here to get you to the end of the race. Got to be thinking about strategy here at some point. The fights are going to thin out for sure.
They are, and the strategy's going to play a big part in this one. As Grass is trying to make it work with Salas. Oh, a bit of contact, door to door, down to that main straight.
Maybe not.
And in the background, way up the racetrack goes Carson Hosaver.
Hosaver,
no,
yeah.
sorry, it was Lapsevich and Trippiano both shot up the racetrack through turn one. And that's why there was contact between them into the corner. And, oh boy, got to get a replay up on screen of that one. because Lapsevich was all sorts of sideways.
I think as that was happening, if I saw that right, I think Michael Guest was coming right through there as that was all unfolding. Here on the Modem Simulation Replay. I'm allowed to say that, right?
Yeah. Well, that on the right-hand side, you saw how sideways he got. See if we get on board of this real work from Masevich as he had to stop this. And just a misjudgment from Cipriano sent him flying through that corner. He's all good at the moment. Wheels nice and steady into turn one, goes to turn in, and suddenly right hand down. And gather that up very nicely.
On board with Jose Solis in his Toyota Camry. Following the Mustang there in front of him. And they continue to go at it.
Well, what are you going to say?
No, I was talking about the battle we were just following there, and they continue to go side by side and take positions from each other. But man, Guest is steadily climbing back here. He's still picking up spots right now, trying to get by Brian Mercurio, setting him up here for a pass.
Which is setting him up for the pass. That's very important at a track where it is a bit hard to just go on the inside and make the move stick because there's not much banking. It's hard to get the momentum up. You've got to make sure you set it up. So Michael Guest here going to get up through turn 3. He was setting himself up down the main straight to take a little bit more different line or approach to turn 1 to make sure he got the exit out of that corner through the dog leg, stayed in that straight draft of the 30 in front of him, and then through turn 3 was able to take the inside and get it done. Didn't completely move until turn 1. When he did though, do set, was able to capitalise and go through as well. And now Carson Jose is going to do it as well.
Yeah.
So, wow. Mercurio, once you get stuck on the outside, very hard to defend.
Yeah, they just ate him up there, all three passed with literal ease. And Mercurio coming out on the short end of that. He had picked up a bunch of spots and now sets him back, one back from where he started this race. I think Pipgrass is up there struggling with his connection a bit too, and that's got to be a concern for these drivers now starting to come through. Michael Guest being one of them, but that 3-car battle right behind him that we just continue to allude to there, Doucette, Hocevar, and Mercurio.
Yeah, that battle for P4 between Oscar Yarbrough, Hayden Honeycutt, Kane Cook, 3 cars covered by about half a second here, last time by. And Yarbrough just doesn't like he's quite got the pace at the moment. He's doing a good job at the moment. Hayden Honeycutt has just dropped off him over the last lap or so. I should mention they're close to Garrett Maines as well. So almost got up to P3, but it's quite a close battle here. The issue with Kane Cook is he's got 3 cars in front of him that are effectively air that gets to his front nose. Or Kane Cook, almost.
Yeah, that didn't look good.
Almost a repeat of the incident earlier. Got a bit sideways out of that first corner. I was going to say the air being affected when it comes to his nose by those cars in front of him makes it a little bit trickier to get the jack on the machine and then get through the corner with speed. So you'll want to get by these guys because it looks like he has got the pace and clean air. He's done a very good job so far. As Yarbrough makes that mistake and offers up the opportunity to Honeycutt, who wipes across his back bumper and gets to the inside.
And you know, we're in uncharted territory now. This is the longest run on tires we've had yet, and we've gone past the halfway point of this race. We flew right past.
Flown right by, as has Honeycutt and Kane Cook. So Yarborough will go back to P number 6. And the 11 will take up from the normal racing line and will try to follow that number 7. Garrett Maines got a bit of a advantage over them through that battle. Just have a look at the lap times between Cookson and Lyon. They're lapping pretty much the same last time by. I'm just seeing if Lyon's catching him. He's yeah, about half a tenth to a tenth a lap. He's not much, but slowly but surely reducing that gap to the race lead. Caution's out.
Oh yes, it is. It was Trayton Lapchevich with the trouble. I don't know why I'm struggling with his name. I had it perfect when we first got started, and now I'm struggling with it. But he spins the car. It was a single car incident in the racing line. I don't think he got any help. No, it just broke loose on him. It's my fault too. I had to bring up the fact that we had gone, you know, in uncharted territory, and what, 5 laps past where we got that one caution where they went 40 laps. Well, here we are. Convenient time for these drivers to come in. They'll have a long way to go to finish the race, but they could finish it after this pit stop.
Yep. And second single classman we've seen today. I'll mention that this is the first race on the new package in the NIS series. And this week, being that week 13, we're in between season 1 and season 2 of the iRacing calendar, there's not many races happening in the Cup car. So this, for a lot of the drivers, could be one of the first times they've driven this 2020 package, 2020 short track package, and that rear spoiler, going from 8 inches to 2.75 is a huge difference. Missing a lot of rear end downforce makes it a lot more loose out of the corners, especially as the run goes on.
Seeing several drivers having trouble hit their pit stall. This is a tough one, this pit lane here at Phoenix. You've got several of them in the turn, and sometimes the sight lines aren't very, very easy getting into the box. It can be a bit of a struggle, and I saw a couple of drivers do that. Did Carson Hocevar take 2? And he's on his way back in, so maybe that was a mistake.
Yeah. You would think so. 2 tires seems a bit suicidal at this stage after that long of a run and so much still to go. So it'll be Cookson, Lyon and Maines. That remains unchanged. Honeycutt and Cook 4th and 5th. Yarborough 5th, 6th. Sensei Salas is back there. Michael Guest gets himself up into 11th place. So this is the furthest up we've seen Michael Guest in this one. And these drivers up front got to start thinking about him and potentially start to get a little bit worried.
Oh, I definitely start. They probably should have been worried. He's in the top 10 now to restart this race. It's on. Game on for sure.
So we're gonna have, what are we gonna have? This is math. This isn't my strong suit. About 67 laps here as we get the 1 to green signal up on the screen. I tell you what, it's not that long of a run. I mean, it's a long run, don't get me wrong. But in terms of fuel, from what I've heard, it's pretty comfortable. And being a short track, that's only 60 miles, so it's not a massive ask of the tyres. They're certainly going to wear out, they're certainly going to be slippery, and a bit worse for wear by the end of it. But if we go green, I would be very surprised to see anyone dive down onto pit road.
Well,
yeah.
position very, very important here, as we've seen already this evening. They've been hard to come by, but several of these drivers up front up to the task.
Let's get it back underway then. Another good restart for Max Cookson as Yarborough gives a shot to the back of Caden Honeycutt down the main straight, as a little bit high up the track goes Harrison Lyon, loses that second spot to Mains, 3 wide then for third place. All the way down to the bottom of the racetrack is Kane Cook, and that 26 of Lyon going to go backwards. Cook moves up the track, checks up Lyon. Yarborough loses out a bunch of spots from that. Michael Guest, Doucette, and Vicente Salas went by. Very unfortunate for the number 10 machine, but good driving from him not to have an incident there, as Matt Adams is trying to get it done around the outside of Brendan Pitgrass behind him.
Guest back there working the outside as well, trying to get it done outside the 15 of Vincent Salas. On board with Michael Guest, looking to his left. There's Salas to the inside, gets the nose ahead, and gonna complete the pass. Another one down.
Ryan Doucette going to follow him through. Vicente Salas gets a bit of run out of the corner though. So too does Austin Yarborough. And Doucette's going to be careful here because Yarborough's coming back, wants some of those spots back that he just lost. And just about clears him. Can he do it off the corner? Yes, he can. And now Matt Adams is going to want to have a look at the number 5 machine too. Doucette just moves the car over on the edge of turn 1 to prevent that from happening, as Brendan Pitgrass makes a little bit of contact with Brian Mercurio behind them.
And just a lion right now. Kane Cook having a battle. Kane Cook really struggling with the car here since we got restarted. And now he's going to fall victim to Michael Guest, who's out his back door.
A couple of close battles here. Mercurio, Pitgrass one still side by side. They've actually switched positions. Now it's Pitgrass on the outside as they go through the dog leg. And not much of an advantage there for Mercurio. Couldn't quite get it done as Doucette loses out to Matt Adams in front of them both. Out of the corner, these two stuck side by side, cannot get away from each other, as still the overlap for Pitgrass up there. And now Will Norton wants to get involved and get through as Mercurio completes the move. Norton can't get the run that he needs. Logo single file through the dog leg. Go back to that battle for P2. Garrett Mains coming under quite a bit of pressure here from Caden Honeycutt.
A lot of pressure, but I don't know if it's intense pressure. I don't think there's any urgency yet. 60 laps to go. Drivers are starting to do what they've been doing on the last couple of restarts here. Spread out quickly. Everybody get in line. Don't fight too hard for these spots. Don't want to bring out another caution here. Yeah, really, you look in the top 10 and where, what, 5 of these drivers have come from in the top 10. There's a lot of stake, big points at stake for them here this evening. They've worked their way to get up here. They want to stay here. So again, I don't see them trying to be too competitive yet for those spots, but really, really strong racing here going in the top 10. And well, let's face it, they're still battling here a little bit deeper in the field as well, but it's back to business here and getting another green flag run in here for a bit.
Honeycutt was on the left rear of Garrett Mains a couple corners ago. Now it seems that Lyon's the one on the attack, getting a little bit closer to the back of that number 7 machine. It's coming across that stripe, and Lyon driving him in deep into the corner. Going to cost himself a chance, a good exit, I think, as a result of that. But you've got to be patient on an angle. It's very important. You can't just throw it into the corner, lap in, lap out, because you're never going to get the runs out of the corner, and that's normally where the moves happen. You get a run out of the corner, you get to the inside or the outside, make it happen for the next corner. If you're just throwing it in deep and hard into the corner, you're not getting much advantage coming out. Basically got to hope you're right on this bumper coming in and you can do a bit of a slide job move if you're going to try that approach.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those slide jobs on a flat track. It's really easy to mess that up and cut it off a little bit too close.
As Lion goes through then on...
yeah, Honeycutt.
Honeycutt.
Nice pass. Honeycutt didn't fight it off too hard. He could have been a little bit more competitive about it, but he decided to let him go. He's going to stay riding the draft a little bit here. He'll take it a little easy on his tires and let Lion maybe beat his up a little bit.
And Kane Cook is getting a little bit closer to the back of them as well, along with one certain Michael Guest. So the battle for P3 starting to get quite a bit closer between 4 drivers now. I think Payton Honeycutt's going to be under a bit of pressure here from Kane Cook.
I think you're right, yeah. And I think they're both going to be under pressure from Michael Guest. Everybody's under pressure from Guest right now. He's climbed all the way back up into this thing. He's 2 laps down, right? At one point, if I remember correctly, and you got the one. Yeah, there's two.
There's one up.
Total 1 on.
Typical of a short track, you can go a lap down so very easily, and we'll see it more and more as we go to Bristol and Martinsville a couple times this year. That drivers can go 1, 2, 3 or more laps down. You can get back on the lead lap before it's done with.
.50 to go at the stripe. Here comes Guest coming through.
Too easy for the driver of that machine, and nothing Kane Cook wanted to do about that. So, up into P5 now for Michael Guest. The charge continues. 50 laps to go. 51 laps to go then here at ISM Raceway. How much further can that driver go? Can he get to the lead? Gap for him at the moment is 2.5 seconds. He's got 2 cars in the way of it as well. And look at Harrison Line. Look how close he's getting out of the back of Garrett Reeves. He's starting to come back on him.
He really is. Yeah, no spreading out this time. They're racing for sure. With 50 left to go. Yeah, it's time to get yourself in position here.
Ooh, into the back of him in the turn 1, unsettled the rear end of that number 1 machine just a little bit, and behind both Lion and Honeycutt, getting some sap oversteer coming out of the corner.
And here comes Michael Guest because of it. That little mistake there by those two has really brought Guest to the party. Seems like Lion might be struggling the most in the middle of that there, Jonesy.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's got the pace over Garrett Maines, it seems, because Maines is checking these guys up. As they're going to navigate by Connor Hale, who's going to go all the way to the wall to stay well out of the way of these guys. And here comes Michael Guest. He's up to the rear bumper of Caden Honeycutt. It feels like it's a matter of when he makes that move, not if he makes it. And he's dragged Kane Cook with him somewhat as well, so maybe a 5-car battle here for second spot. Currently 2.5 seconds off the lead of the race, dropping a fair amount of time to Garrett Maines. Cookson wants this to go on for as long as it possibly can. He does not want Guest or, in fact, Lion to get released as Guest makes a
out.
move. Lion got a bit sideways through turn 3. Honeycutt had to check up. Guest went to his inside and should take this spot away. But I think Honeycutt's going to fight him for it. He is going to pitch him down to the inside, get the run out of the corner through the dogleg. Guest trying to shortcut it as much as possible. But Honeycutt doing a good job there on the outside line. Through turn 3 once again. Should get the run out of here and should clear him actually down this main straight, and he does.
Yeah, that's some great action right there. But it's you said it a couple of minutes ago. It's the type of action that Max Cookson absolutely wants to see in his mirror. I don't even know if he can see it in his mirror at this point, as he's checked out to almost 3.5 seconds on the field.
Look at Honeycutt just driving around the outside of Harrison Line. He's figuring something out up there, a lane or so off the bottom, and he's running with it. He's going to go by Harrison Lyon on the outside. Lyon's going to get sideways, get into the corner. That bias, I think, breaks. He's going to be too far to the rear, and not being helped by a lack of rear grip as well, it seems. Sliding on the entry, the middle, and the exit of the corner. So Honeycutt clears it, and now Guess will go by as well. Kate Cook going to follow him. Garrett Maines, a bit of breathing room for the first time in quite some time. Look at the battle behind them too. Matt Adams, Vicente Salas, and Ryan Doucette.
Yeah, they're stacking up.
Yeah, they're all starting to stack up behind this Garrett Maines backwards battle here.
It's really an 8-car battle. This what we're seeing here for second place.
Vicente Salas moves up the track. Matt Adams gets to his inside. Doucette wants the move too. Almost 3 wide there. Doucette, the one that's going to try to capitalize on the inside, but Adams hanging tough on his outside. Bit of contact, Adams!
And he saves it.
Oh, he holds on to it.
Great, yeah. Great save by Matt Adams.
Further up, Garrett Maines coming under pressure once again, this time from Caden and Honeycutt, because Harrison Lyons going all the way back to P6 in this one. Honeycutt wants to make this move happen. It looks like the outside may be the faster lane when you're side by side and you don't have the entire track to work with. As he goes to the inside, went in very late there. Maybe a bit of touch to the left rear of Garrett Maines' machine. Moves him up the racetrack and out of the way. And can he complete it? Not through the dogleg. What about through turn 3? And is Maines going to let him take that spot away with such a move? Looks like he's going to refrain from giving a shot back. So Honeycutt moves up into second place. Here comes Michael Guest.
Oh,
he gets into the
contact.
Maines.
Oh, look at Maines saving.
Sideways. What a save from the number 1.
Oh, it's got everybody stacking up.
Harris flying all the way down the inside. He may actually get a penalty there. He ended up in pit lane. Oh no, Kane Cook gets Maines as well. Maines is getting beat up out here. Everyone's getting in the back of him. And
now
Harrison
more
Lyons
contact
gets as well.
Wow. What a slugfest.
Poor Maines. What's he done? They're just moving him out there.
Get the heavyweight fights on Friday nights here.
Will be sideways again. Those tyres for Maines now will be quite hot. Maybe a bit overheated after being completely sideways about 4 times in the last 2 laps.
I think the driver might be a bit overheated too there. And in fact, Vincent Salas with a bit of a mistake. It's cost him, thrown him to the outside. He gave up 2 positions there.
So, after all of that, Kane Cook is up into P3. Michael Guest back to P4 ahead of Doucette. Lyon, and then Maines is back here in 7th ahead of Matt Adams. Yarborough, top 10 rounded out by Salas, but look at this, Mercurio, Pitgrass, Norton, Solis Jr., Cipriano's packed up right behind Vicente Salas and Matt Adams try to go around the long way here of Garrett Maines, and they do it without making contact.
Adams with a nice run on the outside, just about has him clear down into the turn. Not quite, he's got an opening. Get it in there, he completes the pass.
Good job there from Adams, also recovering from a bit of a hair-raising moment himself, as is Garrett Maines, as behind them, Brendan Pitgrass going to lose out to Jose Solis Jr. on the inside, and now move back to the bottom as Caden Honeycutt has come down into pit road.
He has, and I'm trying to see why.
Oh, yes. No, that's not it. Well, the director just reminded me that I said someone may have a penalty for going across pit lane through that calamity, but it wasn't him, it was Harrison Ryan. So, it's not that.
Yeah. And that was a standard service, 4 tires and fuel, and Honeycutt's out.
Now, I wonder if this is a play, because he knows if a caution comes out, everyone's going to come into pit road. He's just been involved in all of that fighting. Is he taking a gamble that he can't beat Cookson on pace? So he's going to come in now and pit and hope that a caution comes out and he can stay out and
That's a hell of a gamble.
goes to win the race. The issue with it, it's got a lap down, so it won't work. Maybe they just need fuel to get to the end, because that does seem like a very far-fetched gamble.
Yeah, it seems like a very far-fetched gamble. But again, I don't think he even needed fuel to the end, so something was wrong. He used it up or something and just needed the tires. I don't know. We're at that we're at that 40 mark. Could be Guest just gets passed by Ryan Doucette. So all that speed we were seeing out of Guest, he's backed it off just a bit now. Maybe they are going to be close on fuel.
Maybe. I've heard everything from 130 to 60 laps.
Yeah.
That's the fuel window I've been given. We saw Guest there. So he didn't put enough fuel in at the last stop. That's why he pitted. So Honeycutt was hanging out for a caution, didn't get it. If a caution does come out in the next couple laps, it'll be interesting to see. He would stay out, obviously, and get a wave around, but surely he'd have to come back in.
Yeah.
Even with the wave round, he'd be behind everyone, wouldn't he? So, yeah, his race has pretty much been ruined by that. That's a shame for him. Big action for P10. Will Norton on the inside of Caden Honeycutt is picking off people as easy as you like on those fresh tyres. Drives around the outside of 4 people in one corner.
Yeah,
fresh tyres can make you seem like an absolute piece out there. Makes you feel pretty good too when you're just cleaning people up like this.
Was 8 tenths faster than the leader last time by.
If he
Obviously.
caught the leader,
If
and then and passed him, and then a caution came out, then it would be interesting. Because if I was Honeycutt, I just wouldn't pit, man. I'd hedge my bets on quite a few cautions to the end and stay out. You'd be on the lead lap, so when everyone else pitted, you'd someone would lead the race.
But with the
He's not that far back.
no, he's not.
So he's behind Lyon and Harrison Lyon jailed Australian listening like a Sam why I said that. He's only 7 seconds back, so yeah. Let's see how far he gets then.
You know, we never really went back to the weather. the track temperature now riding at just about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Went up a little bit, but not significantly. We didn't really bust the 100-degree barrier much today, and well, I think that might be why we've seen such great racing here up front. Drivers have been able to manage the cars a little bit better. I think they've done a lot of learning during this session, to be honest with you, especially with the new the revamped tire model, the changes they've made with the 2020 package.
Yeah, you would have expected it to be a very hot track out there. Being in Arizona, the only state with all 4 main deserts of North America to be in it. It's got a piece of all of them, and extremely hot. And I think Phoenix, I'm not up on my American geology, but I think Phoenix is located in the Sonoran Desert, and that's the hottest one in the country. So you would have thought it'd be stinking hot out there, but air temper 20, track temper 37, not too bad.
Real tight battle back here, though, for P10. Still side-by-side racing there as Mercurio almost makes the contact there. Who's that? With Will Norton, yeah.
Yeah, almost up into the side of Mercurio, and again, through turn 3, drifts up the track, moves him up and out of the way. Can't quite clear him out of the corner, though. He's behind them. Jose Solis Jr. and Carson Hosever are side by side too. Hosever trying to make it work on the inside of Solis Jr. Ooh, big snap there from Mercurio. That's going to cost him the spot. Where's Honeycutt? Honeycutt. He is about 3 seconds behind Cookson now.
Yeah, Cookson again, really just, well, he's been the class of the field tonight. We saw it early. It started early on with a pass by Vincent Salas, and it's been domination by him ever since. Kane Cook and Ryan Doucette all of a sudden find themselves very, very close together. This second spot now with 17 laps to go here at the stripe is definitely under threat. Cook, 33 spots tonight. Honeycutt finally gets by. And Kane Cook managing the gap a little bit, maybe Doucette with 16 laps to go. He's got plenty of time to make something happen. I think they've pretty much cleared Michael Guest, unless Guest is really laying off it. They've dropped him by over a second now. Guest's got a lot of work to do back there by himself.
Excuse me, I'm just YouTube chat is always entertaining, isn't it, Sean?
I don't know, Jonesy. I don't pay a whole lot of... not much, buddy. I got a job to do here commentating this race, man. Aside from my love and support of Fat Timu.
Where is Timu?
Yeah, he's back there in 18th. He's having a solid run. He's been mixing it up, having fun this race.
He's had an eventful on, that's for sure. A late caution, who knows what can happen. And if there's a wreck on that main straight in here at Phoenix, it can turn into a big incident quite quickly. We've seen that in real world and here in the virtual many a time. As Honeycutt's now starting to gain some spots. He's back on the lead lap, and he's up into 28. 27.
Just cleared Josh Campbell, and then William Morris took that as an advantage and doing a little work with Campbell back there. But now they're fighting back and forth. And that 36, William Morris, big damage on that car, still getting around here. In fact, Morris was one of the early wrecks in this race.
He was, wasn't he? He's struggling at the moment. There's a big battle here for second between Kane Cook and Ryan Doucette. The 11 and the 5 just making their way by the lap car of Cody McCauley, and Cook struggling for stability and traction coming out of that corner, got right up against the fence, just about kept his Cup car out of the wall. But Doucette isn't sensitized now. He wants to get by him. There's a stop. There was that car stationary. Jack. It was the, make up your mind, director, the 16 car.
The 16, yeah.
16 Carson Hosever, that's a shame. He was running pretty well, Hosever.
Earlier he was. It looks like he had a wall shot with the turn there and up in turn 1. It'll end his night.
And I've just seen him put in the iRacing shot. He's very confused as to what just happened. So easy to make a mistake in a track like this. And when you get into a long green flag run like we're in now, you get into a bit of a rhythm, don't you? And sometimes if you just lose your focus for a little bit, you're in the wall and you don't really know what happened because you were in such a good rhythm, and suddenly you've got so much damage to your car. It's you've got to be so extremely focused to perform at the front, lap in, lap out, like Cookson's doing right now.
We were talking about Fat Timu and his progress, and well, trying to get a little bit more. Now he's up to P16. Somebody must have told him we were talking about him, because he's picked up 3 spots or 2 spots since we last mentioned him. We go back to the battle up front there between Cook and Doucette. And watch out behind them is right now Guest is having trouble with Matt Adams, and they've got a lap car in front of him, or in the middle now.
Yeah, we mentioned there's only 6 or 7 laps to go, by the way. We're getting very close to the end of the race here.
Adams is catching Guest back here. I thought Guest was maybe waiting, but the waiting's over. He's fallen almost 2 seconds behind Doucette now. He's got to worry in his mirror. Here comes Adams for another spot.
Harrison Lyon and Garrett Maines are going at it as well. Back here for 6th place. And Harrison Lyon coming under a bit of pressure from Garrett Maines, looks like. Cook's just doing enough at the moment to hold on to P2. He catches a laps car in the wrong place though. Doucette's going to be all over him. He's a laps car in front, that's Chris James, who goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Kane Cook loses a bit of a front end downforce, moved up the track a little bit, was a little bit slow through the corner. But Doucette struggled as well coming out, so Cook still has some breathing room. 5 laps to go.
Chris James gonna probably pull out of the way here. Stays up in the racing line. Oh, this is advantage Ryan Doucette here. Doucette's gonna have a legitimate shot at it. 4 laps to go.
And Cook gets to the inside of that laps car, so he will stay high. Chris James, Doucette gonna follow him through as James moves out of the way on the exit. Doucette can't use all the track though. He's gonna go all the way to the bottom. Through the dogleg he goes. Still just can't quite get the overlap on Kane Cook and then keep it. He's going to use the bumper. He got very close to it there coming out of turn 3. 3 laps left in this one. 2 more laps of green and we'll come home to the checkered flag. Even if there's a wreck on that last lap. The lead for Cook's in comfortable 4.7 seconds. No one challenging him. He can coast from here.
Maines.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jonesy. Maines and Lyons now fighting for that position back there, and it's brought. Well, no, I'm sorry, Maines and Lyons. That was a lap car in there with him, but no, Maines just getting by Lyons, and they traded it
Adams
twice.
and Guest. as well. So Maines takes that spot away, and now Adams trying to take away the spot from Michael Guest for P4. Out of turn 1, down on the inside for Matt Adams. Guest up top. Oh, he's still got an overlap. He's going to drive it really deep into the corner, trying to keep it glued to that yellow line as Cookson takes the white flag here in the Arizona desert state in Phoenix. He's got a comfortable margin, but it's not comfortable for these guys as Adams side by side with Guest through turn 1. Still no one going to advantage out of that as Cook and Doucette make their way by a lapped car as well. Doucette dancing it into turn 3, but Max Cookson out of the final corner and across the stripe. He's going to win here in Phoenix. 4 winners and 4 races in the Friday night NIS time slot. Michael Guest going to hold off Matt Adams.
Wow, what a finish to this race. And they did it with one of the longest runs they had all night. With the longest run they had all night.
67 laps.
Yeah.
You said it was. Cookson's engine's just blown up. Now, if he wasn't revving the engine, that's very lucky.
Well, you know, one of the changes was allowing more air to the motor. So I would hope that no one detonated a motor this evening for lack of air into the car. Great race. Cookson, though, as I said earlier, really after an early pass around Salas, just dominates the race here, Jonesy.
Yeah, he did, and the reason Cookson pulled his engine is he crashed after the start-finish line. So let's go to a break here on Sims Speed TV on the iRacing Esports Network. When we come back, we'll have the full results here from Phoenix and hopefully some post-race interviews. To ISM Raceway here in iRacing, round 4 of the NASCAR iRacing series, the Friday night 9 p.m. Eastern time slot has concluded with its 4th different winner in as many weeks. Max Cookson got it done today. Let's take a look at the full results then from Phoenix. And the final margin for Cookson was 4.6 seconds. Kane Cook coming home in second after starting way back in 35th. Ryan Doucette came third. Michael Guest came from a lap down to finish fourth. Matt Adams in fifth. Garrett Maines picked up another top 10 for the season. Harrison Lyon home in seventh ahead of Vicente Salas, Al Pulsitter, Austin Yarborough, and Will Norton rounding out the top 10.
All right, Jonesy, and the next 10 are going to be just like this. Brian Mercurio going to finish 11th this evening. Jose Solis Jr. finished 12th. Blaze Crawford, 13th for him. Fat Timu winds up 14th for Timu Toika. Great run for the Finn tonight. Brandon Pipgrass overcomes the connection, which was a little weak at times. He'll get 15th. Andy Trupiano, 16th for him. Ryan Hill, 17th. Seth Ryder, 18th. Caden Honeycutt, tough break for him this season, is going to wind up P19. And Trayton Lapjevich, well, that's 20th for the number 6.
Rest of the field will cycle through on your screen because we're going to have a chat to Max Cookson, our race winner here from ISM Raceway. We may as well call you Harvick, Max, because that was a pretty dominating performance.
Yeah, man, thank you. That was a really good race.
And we concluded the race with one of the longest green flag run, well, the longest green flag run of the night. We started it with 2 restarts that made it but a corner. How did you see the racing out there today? Was it a relatively clean? How was the new package, most importantly?
I absolutely love the new package. I mean, it was just an absolute blast to drive there. The car just fired off so fast tonight and was just able to maintain on the long run. Just really good team effort.
In terms of that package, and in terms of course, this is the open setup series for NASCAR iRacing series. How much, or if at all, have setups have to change now with this lower downforce package here on the short tracks?
Yeah, you definitely you've really got to drive the car a lot more on this package. Obviously without that spoiler or less of the spoiler on there, makes the cars a little bit harder to drive. Setup wise, not a ton. Just some ride hype stuff, and we really hit it good tonight.
Certainly did. You found that sweet spot pretty nicely. In terms of the restarts, they were very, very convincing. You jumped out to an early lead every single time. Uh, you weren't really challenged at all in that last stint, it seemed. Do you feel as if someone had have come with you and challenged you? Did you have enough in the tank to fight them? Were you just comfortable out front?
Yeah, I just got really comfortable. There was one run where Lion was starting to kind of even out with me there and run some better laps, but the car was just super good, just fired off great, and just super comfy to drive all night.
Well, a good setup is just as important as a good driver. You had both today. Before we let you go, and are we? Yeah, before we let you go, sorry. Who are the people that get it done for you and the sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Uh, Bobby D, Bobby D Earnhardt Legacy Sports, Butt Kicker, Bruzy Race Rare, um, just all the guys on the team that helped out on this thing. Boyd, uh, Curtis, David, Garrett, Jeans, uh, Blake Neer found some big things in this car. Everyone on the team just helped out so much and made this happen tonight.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully, we see you back next week at the same time. And we get to speak to you again after the race. Good luck.
I hope so. Thank you.
Well, that was your race winner, Max Cookson. We've also got Sean, our 6th place finisher today, Garrett Maines. Let's talk to him, and because I really want to find out what's happening in that slugfest we saw in that last stint. Sean standing by with Garrett Maines.
Yeah, Garrett got a little rough and tumble out there. You survive it to finish 6th, though. And boy, that was an exciting race. And this new package, well, according to the winner, it felt pretty good. It looked pretty good on camera.
Yeah, for sure. The new package changed a lot. It's, really changed the way you have to drive the cars, and you have to really back up the corners and use the throttle, pedal it off the corners. But you're kind of struggling on exit the whole race. I think I was a little tight to the center and having to put a little bit too much wheel in it. And as the track rubbered up there at the end, I was starting to have people kind of line up behind me. But I had my teammate out teammate out front on something that was definitely working for him. We were on different setups, and man, he was killing us tonight. Everybody, he put on a clinic. But congrats to him on the win. It's really frustrating. We get all those people trained up behind us, and we had a couple people. The race is clean. Caden Honeycutt, Harrison Lyon, Nathan Lyon. They raced us really clean. They made the proper moves, didn't do anything stupid, and then we get to really impatient people that they're like, "Oh, you're holding us up," and went straight to dumping. We got after the race, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry I moved you, but you're holding up the line." And I'm like, "Okay, that's great." So that I'll remember that. You just drive through me because I'm slower, but is what it is. that's what you get sometimes.
Well, that can be the short track racing every now and then. Let me ask you a question, because the speculation's out there that this may be the last time we run this track in its current configuration. That it's due for an update. What are your thoughts? You welcome a revised version of Phoenix, or you like it just the way it is?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Considering the way we race on here, I definitely like it the way it is. But I think it's gonna get really, really crazy when they release the new version. The new Turn 1 will be very exciting, to say the least. It's going to be quite the battle. Everybody's going to be fanning out going into that corner, and it's going to be a fight for real estate coming off. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It'll bring a whole nother level of aggressive at Phoenix.
Well, who would you like to thank for that butt kicker Camry out there this evening and the run you had?
I got to thank everybody over at Legacy Esports for all their help. The amount of time that people put into setups over there is insane. Boyd Hogan, Chris Hill, Derek Runge, all those guys that put so much time. Couldn't do it without them. Also got to thank Butt Kicker, and shout out to them for the new Butt Kicker Gamer 2, setting up that system now. But Bobby Dale, Andy DeLay, all those guys for making everything happen.
Well, congratulations, Garrett. We will see you back next Friday night here on the iRacing Esports Network.
Yes, sir. See you then.
And that was your sixth place getter here, Garrett Maines. You got a couple more people down in the NEV booth, Kane Cook and Matt Adams, who finished higher up. It was Kane Cook, ran second. Let's talk to him then. Best of the rest today behind Max Cookson. Started way back in 35th. You had to fight hard to get to where you were today.
Yeah, it was really interesting because I had just got home from work and I hadn't been able to turn a single lap on this car or set up before the race started. So the first 30 laps, every time I went down to turn 1, I thought I was going to go bowling, but we got a couple long runs in there. Made a bad mistake on the first one. First time we've had to drive the car anywhere near this in a while, so that was pretty bad. And then later in the race, I know we had someone up here a second ago that was really upset, but I don't know, when you got 2 team cars at the front and one's fast and one's got damage and is driving recklessly in front of people, try to hold everybody up. And then I don't know, man. Moved him a little harder than I wanted to. Didn't intend for it to go down like that, but I don't know. At some point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he he got beat up and moved by I think about 4 people in the space of 2 laps. It was a pretty rough sequence of events for poor old Garrett Maines, but got to protect those teammates and understand both sides of the story here. And short
And I'm
track
not
racing
saying that
too,
they were
temp is always
coordinated or
flair.
anything either. I'm not trying to imply they were coordinated. It's just, I mean, you know how it goes, you know?
Short track racing, man. Tempers flair. So, in terms of, you said that you hadn't had much time to practice, if any at all. New package today, not much downforce out there. You brought out one of the cautions. Dare say it might have been a result of that. How was the grip levels of the small spoilers and front splitters and everything?
Well, no matter what, on the long run, if you hit the gas, it was just going to be an insane amount of rotation, and that was causing some problems. But as the race went on, every restart, it just seemed like the front tires turned into airbags. I don't know what was going on, but there was a ton of grip for the front end later on, and it kind of, I don't know, it opened up some driving styles. I don't think I drove the same corner the same way twice the whole race. I was all over the place just trying to figure it out. So I don't think Dynamic Tracks is fully back, or maybe it was just because it's open racing and not fixed racing, but there's definitely some different ways you go about driving it today, which is a very nice change.
Yeah, the racing was pretty good out there for the most part. We had finished off with an extremely long green flag run. Something I wanted to know that I don't think either of us really knew all race long. What was the fuel window for today?
Well, I know the fuel window was it was a little longer than Caden had anticipated for. He forgot to fill on the last stop, which is a shame because he's flying too. I think we could get somewhere around 80 laps, 85, somewhere in there. I was pretty unprepared, but those are the rumors that were going around TeamSpeak that I was guessing my mileage off of.
Yeah, well, it's longer than 67 laps. We can tell you that much because that's the longest one we had today. Next week, wow, I don't know what next week is. I feel horribly underprepared. But next week is another week. You can hit the refresh button. It might be at Atlanta. I think it is at Atlanta. We're going to see you back for another round of the Friday night time slot.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try. If I can show up to these, I find it a ton of fun, and it's awesome you guys are broadcasting it and bringing back some of the strength of field that NIS used to have. Hopefully we get a few more of the guys back this week that we lost. I was really surprised. I thought everybody'd be running this with how loose the car is, but I don't know. Hopefully all the Coke Series boys keep showing up to these and helping us and the other top split regulars really put on a show.
Week 13, vacation week for some. Should mention too, didn't mention this all broadcast, we are keeping track of the results each and every week. We've got a Friday night NASCAR iRacing Series championship table, which we will show you next week. Just the top split drivers being counted in all of that. So if you turn up each and every week, who knows, you might be the best driver on a Friday night in the NASCAR iRacing Series come Phoenix next time at the end of the season. Before we let you go, who gets it done? Who are the shout outs you want to give?
Oh, Nathan Lyon, Houston Hammer, Dustin Langert, Matt Adams, Guest Express, Colin Keister. Dead Zone's got a really long roster of drivers. I don't know if you want me to go through that. But yes, everybody at the shop, and then you guys for putting it on. Renegades Esports for being on my car this year. I don't think I've submitted my paint to you guys, but maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll stop being lazy.
Yep, SimSpeed website, make an account, upload it to the paint booth, and then NASCAR iRacing Series section if you want your paint to show up on our broadcast. But thank you very much for joining us here. I hope to see you next time. Hopefully, get to chat to you again.
Yep, thank you guys.
And that was your second place getter today, Kane Cook. That will just about do us then for round 4 of the NASCAR iRacing Series. We try to do 3 interviews each and every week. So if you finish at the front, make sure, or you had an exciting race, come and join us here in the SimSpeed channel as soon as you can. And we might get around to you. The link to that Discord is in the YouTube chat, not too far up from where we're sat right now. But Sean, that was a very good race. Next week, well, it's going to be more of the same, isn't it? This has been a fantastic season so far.
Yeah, it really has been a fantastic season, and well, we got a different winner again. We're 4 for 4. Just a great show. The new package looks like it was a big winner this evening, and I think most of the drivers walked away pretty happy. You know, the top 10 were littered with drivers that came all the way from the back of the field. How can you complain about that? So look forward to next week and what that has in store for us. But another good one, Jonesy. We'll see you then.
We will, and it will be Atlanta. I've got to double check that. Just go and check the NASCAR calendar. Very good. So that will do us for tonight. We look forward to the future for the iRacing Esports Network and for SimSpeed TV. Lots of series starting to get back in action when the season kicks back off. Make sure you like and subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network if you enjoyed the broadcast. Go and subscribe to the SimSpeed YouTube channel as well. If you want to see more of our broadcasts each week, we've got quite a few going up there, such as TCR series going to be starting up on Australian Wednesday nights, which will be a lot of fun, and plenty more across both channels. So make sure you stay up to date with all of that. We can't wait for next week. Going to be a lot of fun in Atlanta. We're back to the full throttle action. We've provided so much action last time out at Auto Club. But from myself, Ryan Jones, from Sean Ambrose alongside of me, from Jay Kennedy behind the scenes, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.